Good afternoon. Mayor Buckley here for another updated podcast. It is Thursday, December the 29th, around 2 p.m. I'm in the mayor's office again with Tim, and I wanted to bring you an update on several topics that we're working on to end the year. The first topic is, once again, COVID appears to be making a return. We've been dealing with it since March of 2020. And I think at this point, I spoke with the department heads this morning. We've got a better understanding of what's going on with it, the symptoms, staying away from people, masking up. So what I instructed them is I'm not going to change anything that I've done since COVID came out in 2020. It's going to be left up to the department head on how they want to handle closing their building, if they want to stay open, how they want to handle people wearing masks, exposures for their employees. And I'm certainly not going to recommend any business close. That's beyond us, and I'm just not going to go there. Upstairs in the council chambers, we now have some masks up there, and there's a note saying that if you prefer to wear a mask, these are single-use masks that you can wear, but there is no mandate to wear a mask up in the council chambers. And I doubt that I'll go there. These variants, they come along. We're having another one come through, and my understanding is that the more these variants come through, the less impactful they are. But I certainly encourage you to be vaccinated and get boosters, but once again, we are not going to mandate any employee receive a vaccination or a booster. That's totally up to them. January 1st begins a new fiscal year for the city. And this year, 2020, has been a really good year for the city. We have balances. I said this about 6 to 8 months ago. We have balances, fund balances that I have never seen before. And I told our clerk treasurer, Jim Kaufman, I am so happy about this because the city is so fiscally sound. We're able to do a lot of things. So 2023 is going to be another good year for the city as far as infrastructure, employee benefits and raises, and equipment and vehicles. So I'm anxious for 2023 to get going. Earlier this year, Ray's Trash Service sold their business to Waste Management. Waste Management is a nationwide company. And this has been in existence for about 3-4 months. And Ray's used to do our recycling. And now Waste Management does it. Well, I got to tell you folks, we're not off to a good start with Waste Management. We've had some issues with pickup and recycling. And some of our businesses who used Ray's for trash removal are not getting their trash picked up. So I've had a couple conversations with Waste Management, and hopefully they will do a better job. But time will tell. I wanted to get that out to you. In October of 2017, the city of Beech Grove was one of the first, if not the first, municipality in Indiana to file a lawsuit against 5 manufacturers of opioids. The final settlement was made in October of this year, 5 years later, and the city will receive funds over the next 18 years. The lawsuit was filed based on 3 principles. Number 1, the city received some type of reimbursement for services rendered to treat overdose. Second would be funds would be used to educate the public on the dangers of drugs, naloxone kits, and addiction programs. That's where our drug-free coalition comes into play. And we're going to meet with them next week to talk about these programs. And the final thing is money will be invested in teaching early childhood development students the dangers of drugs. So those three components is what I agreed to and the principle behind our lawsuit. Our clerk treasurer, Jim Kaufman, has received our first payment, and that was in the amount of $25,000. Beech Grove City Schools will receive approximately $12,000, and that money will be used to buy educational materials for early childhood development. Next week, I meet with our drug-free coalition, and over $8,000 will be issued to them for the purchase of naloxone, medicine disposal, and addiction programs. We have a unrestricted fund of about $5,000, and I'm leaning towards using those funds to purchase naloxone for both of our ambulances that we operate. So, and over the next 18 years, the City of Beech Grove will receive funds from the opioid settlement. And finally, I want to talk to you about Christmas tree disposals. As we all know, Christmas ended last Sunday. You may want to think about removing your live tree from your house if you haven't already. And if you live in the City of Beech Grove, this is a pretty simple process. All you have to do is take your live tree out and put it next to your trash tote. And the city will come by on your trash day and chop up the Christmas tree. So we will dispose of it for you. There will be no additional charge, but we recommend if you haven't gotten it out of your house to go ahead and get it out of your house and get it out to where your trash container is, and we'll pick it up for you. So I will be right back, and I want to talk to you about major infrastructure projects that are getting ready to start. I'll be right back. And I want to talk to you about some major infrastructure projects that we are working on, and a couple of them are getting ready to start. The first project is the 2023 Community Crossing Matching Grant Program with NDOT. The City of Beech Grove received a little under $351,000 to pave local roads and streets. We have a pre-construction meeting next Thursday, week from today. The contractor, Grady Brothers, wants to go ahead and get started with cement work. So if you are in the affected areas, you will start to see some cement work being done on sidewalks, curbs, and approaches if yours is one that needs to be replaced or is recommended to be replaced. I don't have the list with me. It is available online, but it's a very extensive project, and we are looking forward to it getting done. If the city, or if the NDOT gave us $351,000, our match is $351,000. So we're talking about a project for paving this year of $700,000. Once that project is done, we will have either reconstructed or repaved 89 roads since the 1st of 2012. And that is a very, very good statistic. We just got back our Pazer road inventory checklist. We had every single road in Beech Grove inventoried and assessed and given a grade of poor, 1 to 4, average, 4 to 6, 7 to 10, good. And I want to report to you that our Pazer rating of our local roads is very, very good. So I'm very happy about that. At our next board meeting, our board will approve a contract with Coley Construction Company, and we are getting ready to do another major sanitary sewer improvement project. This will reline a major sewer line running under Main Street from 13th to 18th. This is a cement pipe that is 24 inches in diameter. We are going to reline that. That pipe will be good for another 50 years. We're looking forward to that, and I was told this morning that we are going to completely rehab at least 110 manholes. Our system has approximately 650 manholes, and we are going to line 110 of the worst manholes. And what we're looking for is to try to keep groundwater from coming into the system. So this is a major, major project, about $630,000, and the council has approved $450,000 of ARPA funds, American Rescue Plan funds, to make infrastructure improvements in our sanitary sewer system. For those of you who live in South Grove, who live around the McFarland Creek, we have applied for funding through Okra to correct a major drainage problem that runs along Dangerfield, Roderick Court, and Biloxi. This project stems from a detention pond that serves a building on Emerson Avenue that is not near big enough, and it causes overflow and flooding of these areas. The project that we would like to do is going to cost us approximately $860,000, with $600,000 being through Okra. We will find out if we are awarded that sometime in late February. If we're not awarded, we will turn around and apply again for the same project at the end of 2023. So keep our fingers crossed on that. Another grant application that we are applying for is the Community Crossings Matching Grant for the first round of 2024. In January of 2023, we will once again apply with NDOT for funds in the amount of approximately $638,000 to pave even more roads. So if we have received $638,000 from NDOT, that means our paving project for 2024 will be approximately $1.3 million. This is a very, very large and extensive paving project, and we are finally getting into the number streets. We've done a very good job all around the inner core of the city. Now it's time to start focusing on the number streets. And the first street that we're going to tackle is 2nd Avenue, from Churchman Avenue all the way over to Albany. So I'm very happy about that. And finally, we have applied for a grant of approximately $1.7 million to construct yet another roundabout. This one is at the corner of Hannah Avenue and Arlington. That intersection has been identified by NDOT as one of the top 70 intersections in central Indiana for accidents. And we have bad accidents out there all of the time. So we keep our fingers crossed. The application is in. It has had a favorable review, and we hope that it is funded sometime in mid-February. So we are looking forward to that and hope for some more good news. Yet, the roundabout at 25th and Churchman, the double peanut roundabout, is still being worked on. We're in the process of buying properties in that area, and we are still moving forward on the Hornet Greenway. Those two projects come up in 2024, and we are so looking forward to those major improvements in our city. So that is the latest on infrastructure projects. I will be right back to talk to you about the council's action on sewer rates. I wanted to talk to you about the Beech Grove Sewage Works utilities and the rates to treat wastewater. Recently, our city council voted not to increase sewer rates for customers of Beech Grove Sewage Works. I couldn't be more disappointed than I am with 4 of our members of the council: Buddy Templin, Kevin Day, Elizabeth Lamping, and Ryan Matkins. Those 4 people voted no. Good news for the ratepayer, bad news for the city. This is what got us in trouble before I became mayor. So I won't do it anymore, and I'll explain my reasoning why. But the next mayor is going to have to immediately raise the rates. I wanted to raise your sewer rates from $37 a month to $40.25 a month in 2023. In 2024, I wanted to raise your sewer rates again by $3.25. And once again in 2025, I wanted to raise your sewer rates again by $3.25. This is just to keep up with the increased cost to treat wastewater. If the council would have approved it, by the start of 25, your sewer rate was going to be $46.75 a month, just for sewage works, not for trash pickup or stormwater, just sanitary sewer. What I hope doesn't happen, and I think it will, is that when the next mayor comes in 23, they are going to have to put in place a rate increase of at least $8 to make up for lost revenue that was caused by the city council not raising the rates. we would have been better off with a $3.25 rate increase each year over 3 years than what's going to happen to all of us, including myself, when my rates go from $37 a month to at least $45 a month in one shot, because the council failed to pass an ordinance to adjust the rates. Dave Harrison, Robert Ferguson, Kara Ferguson voted yes. In my opinion, and my recommendation as your mayor, Dave Harrison, Robert Ferguson, Kara Ferguson, their vote was the exact right thing to do. I want to make sure that those three people are identified for their proper vote when it came place back in October. And another reason I want to talk to you about that is at the end of 2023, my term is up and I'm going to retire, and I'll talk about that in the next segment. But I don't want the city council and the mayor or whoever to sit up there and say that Mayor Buckley should have raised the rates a little at a time and we would have avoided all this. That is exactly what I wanted to do, and it didn't happen. There will be more of a negative impact on people with fixed incomes as a result of this than if they would have went with the $3.25 step increase over 3 years. So it's troubling, and they don't have any choice. Either two things are going to happen. They're either going to raise the rates, or this is going to start affecting other departments of city government, because it doesn't matter where the money comes from. Citizens Energy is going to bill us accordingly. And we have established rates through 2029, and they are going to bill off of those rates. Doesn't matter what our financial position is, doesn't matter what the council says, they are going to bill what was agreed upon between them and the city of Beech Grove, and it was approved by the IURC. So I'm very disappointed. And if you watch the tape of that meeting, you will hear from council members who voted no, publicly stating that this is the right thing to do and we should do it, but we just are not going to do it. That is bad, bad policy, and I'm not happy about it, and because we are doing so well right now. But it could all come to a crashing halt over a short period of time. So I wanted to talk to you about that because it's very disturbing, and it was a bad vote by 4 members of our council. So I'll be right back. I want to talk to you about Dave Watson retiring, and I want to talk about my retirement. I'll be right back. One of our longtime Department of Public Works employees, Dave Watson, retired, and it's effective sometime in February of 2023. Dave has worked for the city of Beech Grove for well over 30 years. And he's another one of those longtime employees who showed up to work all the time and give a good day's work. So, Dave, we appreciate everything you've done for the city, and we wish you nothing but good health and happiness. So, the board will accept his retirement letter at the January 3rd meeting, and we will move on. And finally, folks, you're probably aware of this, but I have decided not to seek a 4th term as your mayor. It has been the honor of my life to work for the city of Beech Grove as a firefighter for 30 years and to serve as your mayor for 12 years. I will not forget the trust you put put in me to serve this city, and I'm very honored. I'm going to leave it much better than I found it, and I will be the biggest supporter of this city once my tenure as mayor ends. I'm going to retire from public life, and I'm going to slow down. Time is moving way too fast for me, and I don't want to be in the fourth quarter of my life, but I want to enjoy my life and the time that I have left. I also want to spend more time with my wife. My wife has made enormous sacrifices over the past 41 years so I could be a fireman in the city and I could serve as mayor. So it's time that I redirect my priorities and spend as much time as I can with my wife. So there was a press notice on it a couple weeks ago, and I will be coming out soon in support of candidates for public office in Beech Grove, and especially the mayor's position. So I wanted to speak with you personally and thank you for your confidence, and thank you to all of those who voted for me in the 3 elections that I took part in. Thank you, God bless, and Happy New Year, everybody.